You guys, if you're a plumber, this is gonna change your life. Extreme metal cutting with DIABLO. You guys may have seen we were cutting through major stuff with the old DIABLO blades, but now we are with Russell Cole, president of DIABLO, who's gonna talk to us about some new metal cutting extreme blades that you have.
That's right. Well, thanks. So a year ago, we introduced the first carbide tip reciprocating blade in a 4-inch, a 6-inch, and a 9-inch application. So what's so radical about this is not only that these reciprocating blades will cut longer in standard steels, in fact, we guarantee that it cuts 20 times longer, but also will cut new steels that you were not in the past able to cut, such as stainless steel, a boron, or these advanced steels, and even cast iron. These are applications that a plumber or MEP will face every day of their life, and there's really not a good solution to be able to cut it.
Right. Well, like on job sites, they'll use one of those big cutoff saws, right?
Right,
Generally.
so we have one back here. You can use a 14-inch bonded wheel saw, gas-powered saw. Of course, they're not going to allow us to crank this up in here. This is not a great application. We actually sell bonded wheels. This is poor technology out there. It's barbaric because you have, the bonded wheel is wearing on the steel, and it'll actually cluster the room with smoke in seconds.
Right.
So it's not a great application to be able to do it. So what we wanted to do is allow the plumber, the electricians to go out with a reciprocating saw and be able to make these applications in a very efficient way. So we're very excited about the 4, the 6, and the 9, but a lot of demands are coming out on the need for 12-inch. And so that's what we actually have introduced here is our 12-inch carbide tip metal cutting reciprocating blade. And this was a real technical challenge for us. From a manufacturing standpoint, it's very difficult to line the teeth all the way through at the end of it. But in addition, there's a lot of whip at the end.
Right,
so
exactly.
So making sure the teeth stay on and the performance is there. So to illustrate this, or to be able to show why in the world do you need a 12-inch carbide tip blade, it's because of applications like this, Dan. 8-inch cast iron pipes out there that are really needed for any type of drainage situation. Where parking garages, any kind of commercial application, whatever, you'll find this still everywhere. So the ability to make this in one cut or one pass is really important. So what are they using today? Well, a lot of times they're using the bonded wheel that we just showed, right? Not a great application,
right.
Especially if you're indoors.
Yeah.
Or they're using a bimetal product. So we're going to illustrate here, Paul, what do we got?
The Lennox laser.
Yeah, so this is Lennox bimetal product, and Lennox makes a good blade, and bimetal typically has been a very good performing product. But in these type of applications, it just is really not a good solution. Yet, these users will try to do this. So let's give it a try and see how far we can get with the bimetal product. Just to kind of explain to everybody, we are going to start slow to create it's called the feathering technique, to create a pilot cut in it. Once you get a groove, then you can let the tool let it rip. This will extend the life of a bimetal product as well as a carbide tip. So that's what you're going to see here. Cool. This is a corded tool. What's our settings, Paul?
Speed 5, orbital, Milwaukee, 15-amp.
And they would
Perfect.
generally use this blade for this application.
On an 8-inch, they will.
Okay.
More common on a 2-inch or a 4-inch.
Okay.
This is a pretty brutal application.
Right.
So on a 2-inch or 4-inch, you could take average 8 to 12 different blades to do that. It's almost like a crime scene. It's not a pretty application. They put yellow tape around it. They take photographs on it. The interview for victims, but it's not a great application. But here they will use it. And you have to use a lot more blades on here. We'll illustrate this. So
okay.
Let's let it run for about 30 to 45 seconds and see how far we get. Okay. Okay, so you're going to see it scratch the top.
Wow,
but
yeah.
It's going to take a long time to try to penetrate it. And Paul, we're already losing the teeth of
losing the teeth. They're starting to.
On the blade itself. It's rounding over. It's straightening out.
Can you zoom in on it, Eric? Oh. All right, cool.
So you flatten it out. So really not a good solution to be able to cut this. So now we're gonna actually kind of elevate this a little bit, and we're gonna challenge this blade because we're just using a corded saw, and now we're gonna transition to use a cordless. Now, theoretically, you shouldn't be able to cut this pipe with a cordless saw and a reciprocating blade. But with the new carbide tip metal cutting technology, hopefully with a little luck, we're going to be able to fly right through it in around a minute plus. So not a not an easy application, but to be able to do something like this in a minute,
right.
It's pretty extraordinary. So, Paul, when you're ready, let's give it a go. Nice and straight. Boom, just like that. And you know, the exciting thing is with this is that you think about pipes are never in a good location.
Right.
They're always, you know, in the top of the wall, in the floorboards. Exactly. And so they're very an uncompromising position. So just with a cordless product in this blade, you can now attack almost any major pipe out there in the industry. That's big, that's breakthrough, that's game changing.
Cool. Now, that blade's not dead, right?
Blade's not dead.
How many more cuts do you think we could get with that?
Well, in this application, you'll get a few more.
Yeah.
It's important, as you saw the way Paul did the feathering technique, start slow, create that pilot. I would let it cool after such an extreme cut just for a little bit. If you do that, you should be able to get 3 to 5 cuts in this.
Wow.
You know, we formulate our own carbide, so we really found a nice balance to be able to handle both in mild steels and extreme steels. So it is about the carbides, but the tooth geometry, and it's also about the quality of the weld, making sure you keep the carbide on. So those 3 major things combined really give this something extraordinary. And it's not been so easy to have carbide stay on in a linear cut.
Right.
Circular is a little bit different, but linear is very difficult because you're pushing and pulling when it comes to this application.
And it seems to make like an accurate cut also. Which
Yes.
is, you know, you're not like all jaggedy, so.
That's right. That's right. I mean, in these applications, it's important to let the tool do the work. You'll get the better, you'll extend the life of the blade, extend the life of your battery charge, and then also you increase the quality of your cut.
Cool. Good stuff. All right, man. Thanks,
Yeah.
Russell. Appreciate it.
You bet.
You guys, DiabloTools.com.
Yes, and
Check-
thegamechanger.com.
TheGameChanger.com.
Yes.
Check it out. Tools in Action.
For more exciting tool action, go to toolsinaction.com.